Hey, 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 beautiful people. Hello, hello. Let's try to give you guys a minute. Un momento. Un momento. Let me push this over some. I feel y'all are so far away. My gosh. Look at all this work I'm over here doing. It's taking up space. Anywho. Welcome to all. My name is Maritza, and I just enjoy helping women become the best version of themselves. I like to share information that I have learned already along this life's journey in hopes that women will get the lesson, learn the lesson, make better decisions before I did, hopefully, right? Because some of us are just hard-headed, y'all. Hard-headed. Let's just go there, okay? I feel crookedy because my camera is not staying in a certain spot for me. Let me see. So it's driving me bananas. Bananas. But anyway. Y'all, today I titled this Being Stuck in Your Past because of Grieving. So literally being stuck in your past because of grieving. And I started thinking about this because often, as I just said, a lot of what I talk about and teach about is in hopes of, it's because of, y'all, something that I went through. And some of those things might be things that I'm still working through, but most often they're items in my life that I had to deal with, that I worked through already, and I've seen them play out a certain way several times, enough to know this is not the direction to go in. So tell people, for the most part, this is why this happens. Try to do this. This might make it better, and yada, 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 right? But today, being stuck in your past because of grieving could be being stuck on a person, a place, or a thing. It does not, when I say being stuck in your past, I'm not just talking about, say, a thing, right? That past could be still thinking about someone and still making decisions in hopes, for example, of someone coming back. Or something as simple as still thinking of someone, and so you're not making any decisions that help to move you forward because you're constantly thinking about that person and what if this and what if that. That's a person example. A place example is just being stuck on where you were in life at a certain time, and in that place. It could be a job that you felt that you were doing the best and you were making good money. You had a lot of opportunities for growth, and say you made a mistake, or you needed to transition because you were having children and you wanted to be home more with your children, and so you ended up taking a leave or resigning from the job. These are examples, remember. So keep your mind wide open. This is to help you think about, is this me? So that's like a place. Another great example of being stuck in a grieving place, grieving space, because of a place, a person, place, or thing, right? Place is maybe you moved. Maybe you visited a place, right? Maybe you went on vacation to a place and just felt like this place was the place. And until I can get back to that place, I don't want to travel. You'd be surprised. I don't want to go on new adventures, because that place so inspired me that that's the only place that I could enjoy, that I can get that inspiration, that I can see myself moving forward from. A thing, let's go to that example. A thing, being stuck on a thing, right? So a thing could be anything, right? A thing could be, say, money, right? Being stuck on money. So you, for example, won't move forward on, let's say you won't move forward on getting married because in your mind you want the perfect wedding that will look a perfect way, and you need a specific amount of money or more in order to have that perfect wedding, right? So in this example, money or the perfect wedding could be that thing that you're stuck on. So you're grinding, trying to come up with this money, but things get in the way. Life happens, right? You have to dip into that fund because you're not putting emergency money aside, because of course you're just focused on this. So when things happen, you're always going into that savings. Or the perfect wedding in your mind, you feel like it has to look this way, so it looking any other way other than that, you don't want it, right? Because you have the fairy tale image in your mind. Another thing, let's go there, Queens. You having the perfect man built out in your mind of what a husband should be and how perfect he should be as he presents himself to you. So any man that presents themselves to you that doesn't look exactly like that man and doesn't present himself exactly like that man should, in your eyes, he's not even in he doesn't even have a chance with you. You just move him right along. Now let me say this, because somebody out there is going to say, oh, but you know, that would be settling. And yeah, I'm not talking about that. I am not talking about a woman, quote unquote, settling. What I'm talking about is a woman having unrealistic expectations and thinking that there is a perfect man out there, that there's not a man out there that there's a man out there that doesn't have any imperfections about him. And that is just not true. Just like you have imperfections, just like you come with baggage, just like you come with things that you're going to still need to work on, just like you come with things that he is going to have to accept until you work through them, right? Or he has to accept because you just feel like this is me, so he has to weigh, is this something I can deal with? Same thing with you, Queen. The exact same thing. So I'm not telling anyone out there to settle and to be with somebody that ain't doing nothing, don't want to do nothing with their life, wants to live off of it. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I am just simply saying, to be realistic, that he has to be human. And the only perfect vessel that was here was Jesus. Every other man here will have an imperfection, just like every woman does, right? So, now that we got our examples out the way, Queens, I wanted to talk about the grief and how some of us literally don't even realize that we are grieving that person, place, or thing, or plural, right? It could be more than one thing, right? Because we are unhealed in certain areas, because we've had experiences that were in our eyes perfect, right? And that's okay. But because of that, And because of us not having let go, because of us still being soul tied to that person, place, or thing, because of our soul, whether it is a person, place, or thing, but our soul still being tied to that person, place, or thing, it's like we are unable to move on. There are some women that I know that are sad still to this day because of how things did not work out with that one guy, right? Still experiencing moments of sadness, right? Still have other men that they have coming in their life that they are comparing them, this one man. They're comparing all these men to this one man. And if he doesn't look like them, act like them, if he doesn't sleep like them, if he doesn't do anything else like them, and all that good stuff, if he doesn't dress like them, if he doesn't work in the area he works in, or have the same beliefs, or and etc. You don't even give him a chance. It's like you totally ignore all the great things about this man because you are still unhealed, still grieving. Grieving because you still go back to that place and you still experience certain feelings. You still have certain desires, right, as it pertains to that man. And because you deep inside know you can't have it and it just can't be, you go through a physical grieving. You go through an emotional and unfortunately a spiritual and mental grieving as well. It is important for you to begin to detach yourself from that soul tie, from that person that deep inside you know it could never work out if you guys got back together. But you want everybody to measure up to this guy. You want everybody to be like this guy. And you don't even look at the reasons why you left him. Like you try to put those to the back of your mind and say, you know what, I just need all these particular qualities in the next man. You also don't think about this, like, okay, these qualities, am I like just thinking because I had a great experience with this person, or maybe he was my first real love, or whatever it might be, right? The first man that treated me a certain way. That, have you ever considered, queens, like that you're like, those aren't just great qualities. They look like great qualities to you because of how you are connecting yourself to them and how you have soul tied yourself to that person, so everything feels right as it pertains to how this person was. But I just beg you to consider, what if all the things he was presenting to you really aren't great qualities? And if they are they the best? Is there somebody out there that's been trying to offer you better, but you're not allowing it because you are still so tied to this particular person? You are still measuring up. You are still frowning on every man that comes along that does not measure up to that person. The thing, right? No, the place, right? Now we talked about place. Place next. Person, place, or thing. There are some of us that are grieving. Let me give you a perfect example. I can remember the first time we tried to move to Georgia, I did not do well. I was pregnant, first of all, and I should never make any big decisions when I'm pregnant because I am an emotional hot mess, right? hormones be all over the place, y'all. But I do remember like getting here, and I just wanted to be back home. All of a sudden, nothing felt better or like it was anything could measure up to Boston. I just need to get back to Boston, 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 Boston. I got to get back to Boston. I got to get back to Boston. Or a place, right? I can also remember having been in a career, right? And feeling like, you know what, when I moved along, when I had to move along because of my health, like not really wanting to give anything else a chance, because I felt like this was it for me. This was it for me, and that's all I wanted to do, without ever really looking at or giving the other place an opportunity before I started shooting it down. And that finally thing, y'all, we talked about money, right? And we talked about the wedding. Y'all know I want to get at y'all for weddings. Because often there are women, y'all, that will not get married because, like, they won't go to the justice of the peace. Now, there's some women, they like, Lord, have mercy. You know what? Me and my man, we can hit the justice of the peace, and then, you know, we can then plan for a bigger wedding so that all of our family and friends can celebrate with us. But there are a lot of women that they won't. They're like, no, I'm not going to the justice of the peace. I want a wedding. And while you deserve whatever it is that you have in your mind that your perfect fairy tale wedding should look like, I just press upon you to think about what it is to be, you know, why not? I just press upon you to think about that and to realize that things often take a bit longer. And by a bit, I mean a bit longer for them to realize, right? Sorry, you guys. I got the food going off at the same time as I have the a phone call coming in. But what I wanted to say, wait a minute, y'all. What I wanted to say is that I just press upon you to make sure that you don't play yourself, like that you don't put yourself out there and mess up the opportunity to be married to a really great person, a really great man, because he is a great man, but he just doesn't have the money yet to give you that big, fabulous wedding, right? Don't miss out on that opportunity. There are some men that really feel like, hey, let me, why don't we go to the justice of the peace? We take the money, we buy our home, then we can use some of the money that we have a year or two later to have a big wedding, right? What if you think about that? And I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just giving an example of how things often turn out, right? And how we as women, it's driving me crazy, y'all. How we as women, like how we often play ourselves because we do not take an opportunity, right? And I'm not saying take this out of desperation. Lord knows I'm not saying that. Absolutely not. Marriage is serious business, so you should not walk into it playing and just wanting it because your friends have it and you feel like you're the last one, right? I'm simply saying, if there's somebody that you really love out there, but he doesn't have the money yet, and you don't have the money yet to make your wedding, that dream wedding come true, why wait? Why wait? Because of money? Because of what you feel like a wedding should look like? when the most important part, queens, is the marriage. Because after the wedding, y'all have to be able to live with each other, get along, learn how to fight through difficult times as a team, how to get through when y'all are pissed off at each other, all that stuff. So, queens, I say to you, like, if you find yourself in a space where you are grieving, like, and you may not realize it, but please take an honest assessment of yourself. Have you been hanging out in your past place or with a person in your mind, off and on, for long periods throughout these past months or years when you should have moved along? And have you not done things, right? Have you not gotten things done? Have you not been out dating? Or have you been turning down some really great guys because of that one person that you're secretly waiting for that has no intentions of being with you? Or are you waiting for money to be right? And there's a bigger picture that is behind that money that's more important. Like, is there something that having that money, having enough money, gives you access to, but that you already have access to it, but it just won't be at the level that you want to right now. But the thing you're trying to access is more important than how you walk into that thing. So please do an assessment and do the work that's necessary to begin healing from. Do some journaling if you're trying to figure it out for yourself, right? Get them soul ties off of you, queen, so that you are able to move to the next level of your life. Stop allowing grief to hold you back from the right person, from the right places, or the right things in your life. I love you guys with the love of the Lord. I hope this helped. Later.